She's like, you're too ugly for another light.
Right.
Or at least I am, yeah.
I just.
Oh, wait, we're on?
The light reflects off of me, and it's like I'm bright, It's good. All right.
All right, Wade to Tangent with the Bradenton Herald here with Damon Fowler. As you can probably tell by the noise, it's packed here at Aces. Damon's done Sugar Shack Mondays. We've kept it alive, and when I say we, Damon's girlfriend, well, yeah, I'll take a little credit, but it's mostly Damon's girlfriend's also the producer, Lacey Campbell, but we are quite happy to have Damon back. Well, I'm probably not as happy as she is.
I may be happier. I don't know.
He's been gone for the last 6 weeks. If you haven't been paying attention, he did a tour of the Caribbean on a big rhythm and blues cruise. He toured the East Coast, did some dates on his own, some with Johnny Winter. Then he went to Italy, and then he went across the country. He played California for the first time.
We did Phoenix.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, that's what I mean by across
Arcadia.
the country. Phoenix is on its way to California,
yes. It was still nice to play in Phoenix, though. We made some friends, and it was great.
Well, do we have to mention every city you
we
played
do.
in?
I'd like to say hello to Walla Walla, Washington. Yes.
We don't have that much time. He played the whole country. And he played this other country you might have heard of called Canada, where he played like kind of a Vegas gig.
Canada.
Yeah, called Canada. In case you haven't heard of it, it's called Canada. Tell him about Edmonton and Canada.
Canada was great. Canada was awesome. The folks were really kind. They were open to music. It was actually kind of an old school blues gig because we did 6 days at a club called Blues on White, and it was in Edmonton, but it's connected to a place called the Commercial Hotel. So you literally walk out of your hotel room, down the stairs, through a door, and then there's the bar you're playing. And we had a great time. The people were great, they're very friendly, and the food was cool. And
now, as a Florida native, Damon is you were born in Brandon, right?
I was Tampa.
Tampa, okay. Even better.
Right.
But you spent a lot of time in Brandon. We won't hold that against you. But he's a Florida boy. How much time did you spend outside? Were you able to stay indoors that whole week?
You know what? It was cold, but we had...
how cold was it?
Damn cold. How cold was it? It was 27 degrees.
Ah, so kind of like your song, 28 degrees.
Right. It was 1 degree colder.
Yeah.
But, it was a different kind of cold there. We wore our toques, that's Canadian for toboggan, and we just dressed in layers. I had some great Greek food, had some pitas. I will tell you people online, and you also, if ever you go to Canada, man, never eat their tacos. Mexican food in Canada, it's bad.
Genie Moose?
I didn't. I've had moose before. Moose is good, though.
We're going to show how ignorant we are. What's a Canadian dish? Maybe if anybody's commenting, what's a Canadian dish? Is there such thing as Canadian food?
I don't know if there's Canadian food. If there's a lot of stews, they eat a lot of bread, a lot of meat, a lot of a guy actually invited us to his house and made pot roast and potatoes and carrots and mashed potatoes.
Out of moose?
Him and his wife. No, it was beef. But, the Canadian beef was really good.
But no moose.
The beer in Canada, very good.
In Canada.
Yeah.
It's contagious.
Right.
So, in all seriousness, Damon's touring in support of Devil Got His Way, his new album on Blind Pig Records, which basically every song that you just did was off that album, except for...
Wrong Side of the Road. We opened the Wrong Side of the Road.
That's off Devil Got His Way.
That's off Sugar Shack.
That is off Sugar Shack. That was the first thing off Sugar Shack.
It is. It was.
And I should know this. But what I love is Cypress in the Pines, which you shot the video for. And I remember you said it was going to be the first single. There was like 4 that I really thought would be a good single. But you won me over. That is the single. But why you really won me over with it live is, I'm a Little Feat, big fan. You've got
little feet.
But big hands.
Whoa.
And, no, as I'm showing them, yeah.
Right.
No, but you're able to play those Lowell George, not to get too geek on you guys, but Little Feat, Lowell George was there, and it's not Little George, it's Lowell George, if I'm saying. Lowell. Lowell. And what he did with Little Feat, his slide pane had such great tone, and it reminds me a lot of yours, but you've got your own style. Sailing Shoes, which was one of the great songs about having a good time.
Putting on your sailing shoes.
Which is actually a great metaphor for something else, but we won't get into that.
Right.
I've just read that. I don't know if that's what Lowell George was talking about. But it's a great song about having a good time.
Yeah.
But what I love, though, is it lets you just really show off your slide chops.
Right.
And Little Feat, Waiting for Columbus, one of the best live albums ever.
Absolutely.
I don't think Little Feat gets their props like they deserve sometimes.
Man.
Like when they look at the great Southern rockers, especially guitarists, Lil George in his solo album, Thanks I'll Eat It
That's
Here.
a great record.
Which is a great record,
One of my
too.
favorite records.
If anybody doesn't own Waiting for Columbus or Thanks I'll Eat It Here, go get it. And if you liked his version of Sailing Shoes, Damon, you nailed it.
Thanks.
It's Little Feat. There needs to be some more Little Feat.
You know what, Little Feat, man, people don't
With
realize
Lil George in
this,
it.
but I think Little Feat were one of the first jam bands, along with the Allman Brothers, along with the Grateful Dead, you know, and a lot of people talk about
they
those
brought
guys.
funk into it, too.
But, you know, they brought a few different flavors into it, you know, and very, very cool. Old George and all of Little Feat, they were great.
And your own stuff has just been going over well. What are some of the songs that you've seen, like, for instance, Edmonton? What was their favorite song?
You know, every night was different. One night I met some guys that were really into Willie Nelson and Daniel Lanois, and we had a great time.
I'm big fans of both.
Me too, you know, so we kind of went that way. On the weekends, I celebrated my 32nd birthday there also.
That's right. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So one night we just kind of did what we wanted. One night there were people were dancing, so we played more dancey stuff, but there really wasn't a favorite. You know, we played all this stuff. They like a lot of the slide stuff, you know, and they like just kind of to them, we're a rootsy kind of sounding band, so, you know, they don't really get that much. Rush is from
You told me everybody in
Canada.
Canada's a Rush fan.
Right, you know, so they, you know, southern sounding roots
How about
music
San
is cool.
Francisco? As you know, I lived in Southern California, but that's different than Northern California.
Man,
How
San
did the
Francisco was awesome.
All right, because I've heard those can be tough audiences. I know they can be tough Southern California, but I heard San Francisco is not the
They were
easiest
great.
market to play.
No, they were great. Actually, that's where part of Blind Pig, their office is. We
Right.
got to go to the pig pen. So we went and hung out. Edward and Deborah Ruger and all those guys.
Deborah Ruger, who's his publicist, does a great job.
They came out and hung out, and they brought some folks, and we had some other people come. And it's a great club. They treated us very well, and they were very receptive. Everybody that was there, they were listening. You know, it was a great gig.
Let's have a little update. Tell us about this monster Paul Bunyan of a guy that's behind the drum kit.
Well,
He's like the big friendly giant.
let me tell you. All right, let's go back to Canada really quick.
Okay.
All right. So we go to Canada, and
And this is Devin Neal?
his name is Devin Neal.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, the word got out that he is an alligator wrestler. And the Canadians every night were like, yeah, the alligator wrestler, yes. One point, the Canadians wrote on the back of our van, this is Florida, they wrote the Jeb Bush Mobile.
So they probably know more about our politics than we know about theirs. 'Cause
Absolutely, man.
I bet you couldn't name the governor or the mayor of Edmonton, or I don't even know what province it is. Alberta, Edmonton? Yeah.
Honestly, even the drunk dude at the bar that could barely speak,
Knew the Jeb Bush.
yes.
Yeah.
They're very educated there.
We're idiots.
Yes. So back to our new drummer. We have a new drummer. His name is Devin Neal. He's about, 6'4", 200, 250. I don't know. He's
Built
a
like
big
a
fella.
tree.
Sings great, adds harmonies, and has learned all our parts and is doing a great job. We're really happy to have him.
All right, but now tell us some funny stories.
So we went to
Because-
Golden Corral one night, and he ate 5 ribeyes, 5 steaks.
5 ribeye steaks.
Like, you go to Golden
So
Corral.
how
and
many did
it's-
Chuck? Because Chuck's not a small guy either.
Chuck
And just
ate
real quick,
about-
Chuck Raleigh's been Damon's bassist for what? About 12 years. I mean,
for very long,
you
forever.
and Chuck are like
Me and Chuck are homies.
born together. Yeah.
Right.
So he ate 5 ribeye steaks.
He ate 5 ribeye steaks.
How many did Chuck eat?
Well, Chuck had fried chicken and mashed potato. We had many different things. That's why you go to Golden Corral, because it's a buffet. But not only the other stuff, but he ate 5 steaks, ladies and gentlemen. I was impressed.
That is impressive. That's almost as impressive as the music he's making.
Almost impressive as the music he's making. The thing about it, he's a great drummer, but he's a musician first. He's not a guy that owns an instrument. He plays his instrument, and he plays music with it. So he locks with us and also sings great, and it's really cool.
You notice his vocals, and I gotta admit, the first thing I asked, because let's be honest, Chuck has to be able to be in sync with him.
Yes.
I said, Chuck, how long did it take? He said 3 shows, and we were like that.
Right.
And that, to me, is the key
Right.
for your rhythm section. Damon, what do you got coming up? Is this going to be broadcast, the second
The
set?
second set's going to be broadcast. And our friend Eddie Wright, who's actually a co-writer on the record.
Who wrote co-wrote a lot of the songs on the record.
Both records, you know?
Yeah, and Sugar Shack.
Been in a band with
Ed,
Ed for
can
years.
we get Ed in here
Come,
a second?
Ed.
Pull that chair. Come in here, Ed. Ed and Damon go way back, and Ed Wright co-wrote a bunch of songs on Sugar Shack and on Devil Got His Way.
Scoot in, Ed.
Scoot in, Ed.
Hey, my name's Tim.
Hey, Tim, hold on,
Hey.
man. We're still doing an interview real quick, man. Hang on. It's all right, brother.
But Ed came all the way over from Brandon because Damon's been gone for the last 6 weeks, and you guys go way back to Ed Zeppelin, or what was the
I first met Ed at a place called Albie's, I think, and he was playing on top of a refrigerator. It was every Monday night.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine that played bass with me told me that he did great guitar work. And I went out to get some guitar work done and watched him, and we became fast friends and have been friends since.
Tonight's going to be a fun night. What's
think so.
something that you and Ed might do on stage that you probably wouldn't do normally? Either a crazy cover or some original. What's something you and Ed, because you guys go back so far.
We're going to chug whiskey. Yeah. Maybe we'll do happy hour.
Sure.
Maybe we can do happy hour.
I heard someone else was a co-writer on that.
No, just me and Ed, I thought.
Oh,
That's not what my contract
Wade was
says.
a co-writer. Wade was a co-writer.
Plug your next gig.
Our next gig is at the Witch and Ale. It's Thursday. It's a pre-Blues Fest party.
Where's the Witch and
It's
Ale?
St. Pete, downtown St. Pete. And then Friday and Saturday, we're at the Ringside Cafe, after the Tampa Bay Blues Fest.
Oh, okay, so it's like an after party for Tampa Blues Fest.
It's not an official after party. The Blues Fest haven't
Right.
labeled it that, but all the fun folks are going to come. And
Great, and Ringside's in St. Pete. Ed, what you got coming up?
House of Blues.
House of
Friday
Blues
afternoon
in Orlando?
In Orlando, yeah. And then Saturday, I'll be out by you over in Seminole, St. Pete, Seminole, that area. Angry Pepper Tap House.
Very cool. Pick up the album Devil Got His Way.
Please.
It's, I think, Damon's best. No, I know it's Damon's best. You can get it
So
through
far.
DamonFowler.com.
yes, DamonFowler.com or Blind Pig or Amazon or CD Baby or
You can get it anywhere. iTunes, yeah.
Pawn
and
Shop.
It's not in pawn shops
Not-
yet.
it
Don't
might
tell
be,
them
man.
that.
We've sold
I don't
enough.
get a
There might be
royalty
one.
check if it goes to a pawn shop. Ed doesn't make any money if it
No,
goes to a
not
pawn
making
shop.
any money.
Ed and I say don't buy it from a pawn
If
shop.
it's a licensed publishing
Nah,
pawn shop,
forget it. We're gonna-
then it's fine.
Damon, rest up, have a beer. You got a bunch of more playing to do. People here, they don't want to hear me talk.
No.
They don't even want to hear you talk.
No.
They want to hear you play.
Yes.
Guys, stay tuned. This is one of the few times where the webcast is going to go the whole show.
Yep,
But if you're in the area, get your ass up here. We're having a really good time.
we are. The microphone is still on, so don't say, don't speak like you normally do after the interview.